It's time for my annual luxury gift guide, but we're doing things slightly differently this year because I actually set myself a pretty strict budget so I can bring you gift ideas under and around $100 that will allow you to share a piece of your favorite brand, be it Hermes, Chanel, Dior, or even Louis Vuitton, without breaking the bank. But I tried really hard to find gifts that I know I would really enjoy receiving, and I hope your friends and loved ones would too. And then we'll have another tier from each brand of gifts, somewhere between $300 and $500, just in case you are really looking to spoil someone or maybe treat yourself. But without further ado, if you'd like me to help you find the best, most impressive luxury gift that won't cost an arm and a leg, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. My ethos when it comes to buying gifts is that I love buying people unnecessarily fancy versions of daily necessities, if that makes sense. I love getting people things that I know they'll be able to use on a regular basis. So I love buying people fancy hand soaps or fancy hand towels, things that you'll see throughout this video, because I feel like there is no point in buying someone something excessively expensive if it will just end up in a drawer or it will end up on a shelf collecting dust. I just really don't see why anyone would want to do that. I would much rather buy someone something that they will be able to use on a regular basis and a piece that they might not want to spend their own money on. I mean, I don't think there's anything quite as luxurious as using a fancy hand soap on a daily basis, but it might not be something that someone will want to splurge on themselves, and that is what the holiday season is for. If you're really looking to treat someone, why not buy and upgrade their version of a daily essential? So now that you know my approach to buying gifts, it's time to dive straight in because we have a lot of brands to get through. So I'll try to go through some of my and your favorite brands and share with you some of my top picks under $100 first, and then we'll move on to some gift ideas that are somewhere between $300 and $500, just because some brands have some great pieces that I wanted you to be aware of in case you have the budget to spoil someone or you are hoping to treat yourself this holiday season. And I know that I would enjoy every single piece in this video. So why don't we start with, let's just start with Dior, because I actually have a piece in front of me that I love. This first gift idea is for the writer in your life. If you know someone who loves writing things down, who really enjoys journaling, who likes to keep track of things on paper, or maybe just someone who likes to have a really beautifully decorated desk, I think they would really enjoy Dior's notebooks. They do some of the most beautiful and, in my opinion, most reasonably priced notebooks. I mean, these are still luxury pieces, so I think these notebooks will set you back around $80 depending on the print, but they do them with the Toile de Jouer print, which is the one that I would recommend buying, especially if you have a Dior lover in your life. I know this is something that they would really enjoy. Of course, it is a beautifully crafted notebook. All the edges are gilded. It has the incredible Toile de Jouer print, and then the quality of the paper is also incredible, which I think if you have a true writer in your life, it is something that they would really appreciate. But even if they never use this notebook, this is something that they can use as a piece of decor on their desk or even on their coffee table, which I really think is quite stunning. And then if you're trying to bulk this up as a gift, you can also buy the matching paper pencil case. They have this little pencil case or a little cup that people can put pencils and scissors in to have set next to this on their desk, which I think is $90. So if you are trying to find a gift under $200, you can buy the notebook with the matching pencil case, or of course you can just choose to buy either one of these, but I think these would make an amazing gift for the writer and the Dior lover in your life. And then if you're looking for something else from Dior, something that is quite unexpected, I would highly suggest checking out Dior's glassware, because anytime I go to Dior and get a glass of water, I am always so impressed with their glasses, which they actually do sell. I think you might have to get those online or just ask your boutique to get them on your behalf online, because I don't think most Dior boutiques will carry their home collection, but Dior actually does a beautiful range of homeware, including glasses, which I think would be an amazing piece to buy for the Dior lover in your life, because it will get them not only the incredible Dior packaging, the Dior experience, but also the ganache quilting, because I would suggest buying the glasses with the ganache quilting, which they do several different versions of. But if we are looking to buy these on a budget, I mean, it is still quite an expensive piece, but you can buy the see-through crystal tumblers for $220 a piece. Or if you're looking for something a little bit more substantial, you can get the glasses that also feature the ganache quilting that come in several different colors for $390. Let me know in the comment section if you agree, but I feel like Chanel lovers are the easiest people to buy gifts for, because I know from personal experience that those of my friends who are in the Chanel cult will go crazy for anything and everything that comes in a Chanel box. Now, obviously, it is going to be impossible for you to find something under $100 from the Chanel fashion line. However, you shouldn't overlook the Chanel beauty range. And if you don't know where to begin, because it is a huge line, let me give you some recommendations. So the first piece that I have gone back to time and time again, something that I love giving as a gift, and I have also received it as a gift and loved having it, is the Chanel hand creams, which come in 3 different versions. There is the regular Chanel hand cream, there is one that's slightly richer, and then there is the Le Lift hand cream, which is supposed to have anti-aging ingredients. But I think at the end of the day, it is all about the packaging, because they come in the cutest, most innovative little oval shape, like little eggs that fit into almost any one of your handbags and are guaranteed not to spill inside. So if you know someone who loves Chanel and who's into their handbags, this might be a nice accessory to treat them to. And if you love the idea of buying a hand cream, but the person you're buying a gift for is not really into Chanel, or you don't want to spend over $50 on a hand cream, because I'm not sure if I have mentioned this, but the hand creams, I think the Rich and the original hand cream are $55, and then the Le Lift hand cream is $75, which is obviously a lot of money to spend on a hand cream. But if you love the packaging, but the price tag not so much, do look into the Glossier hand creams, which come in a similar packaging but are going to be a lot more reasonably priced. Now, if your budget allows and you're looking for something a little bit more substantial, definitely check out Chanel's knits. I think their gloves, their scarves, and their beanies would make incredible gifts. I also love I think they're called the O cases, which are these little leather pouches that feature the iconic Chanel quilting, which they do in a ton of different sizes and colors. They'll also do them with seasonal prints. But if you're looking for something really new, fun, and quirky, do check out their new key rings, which I initially thought would be under $500, but I was really wrong, because some of these are closer to $1,000. But it is a new range of keychains, which are kind of inspired by 90s plastic keychains or key charms. Obviously, you can use these as actual keychains, or you can put them on a bag of yours as a little charm. They have 11 different designs, but my personal favorite is the Hotel de Chanel keychain, which pays homage to vintage hotel and motel keys. So if you have a Chanel lover in your life, especially someone who is a little bit more playful, who's really into camp, quirky things, someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously, I think these keychains they would have a lot of fun with, and they're definitely not things that they'll have in their collections just yet. Now, similar to Dior, Louis Vuitton also has some great notebooks, but I actually think that they are way overpriced for what they are, and that is because most of their notebooks are actually wrapped in their iconic Louis Vuitton canvas. It's not leather, it is just a printed canvas, so they are going to be a lot more expensive. I think they start at around $300, which in my opinion is just way too much money to spend on a simple notebook, especially on something that is not even refillable. So instead of looking at their notebooks and their stationery, I would actually suggest looking into their city guide notebooks, which they do on a ton of different cities in the world, and they start at $43. So If you have someone in your life who is going traveling next year, or someone who has always wanted to go traveling, buying them one of these city guides, I know is something that they would really appreciate, especially if you know that they're going to one of these cities in the near future. You could actually look through the book, pick a restaurant or pick a museum, and you could either make them a reservation at the restaurant, or you could also buy them a ticket to that museum. And if they're not quite ready to go on that trip, the trip of their dreams, you could also buy them some snacks that that particular city or country is known for. That's how I would kind of build that little gift set. Instead of buying more things from Louis Vuitton just for the sake of it, I would try to make more of an experience out of it, especially if you know that they love traveling and they love Louis Vuitton. Buying them a city guide and making a reservation on their behalf, or buying them a little snack or something that that particular city is known for, I think would make a beautiful gift. Now, if our budget allows, there are some recommendations that I would love to give you. So one thing that I have been really enjoying from Louis Vuitton is their fragrances. I think their fragrance range is incredibly underrated, but they're definitely not underpriced, because they range between $300 and $400 depending on the scent you choose. But speaking of scents, I don't think there's a single person out there who couldn't find a scent in the Louis Vuitton range that they wouldn't enjoy. I think they have something for everyone out there. I would definitely consider myself a self-proclaimed candle expert, because I have tried every candle from every single brand. I love candles. I have them burning constantly in every single one of my rooms in my apartment. Nothing makes me as happy as candles. I have always said this, but luxury candles are kind of my love language. So when I tell you that I love a candle, I actually mean it. And my favorite candles from a fashion house, because of course I love my Diptyque, Fine Scents, and Jo Malone candles, but my favorite candle from a fashion house is the Celine candles. Now, I can't remember the name of my favorite candle from Celine, but I'll make sure to put a picture of my favorite one up here, which is a really beautiful, dark, woodsy, moody scent, as you would expect from me. So that is a great gift to buy for someone else, which I think those will set you back $110. So they are around $100. And of course, the packaging is going to be just divine. So if you have someone in your life who loves Celine, or you feel that they would appreciate the aesthetic of Celine, their candles are actually incredible, and they are $110. So that would be my first suggestion. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more substantial, you could also buy the matching candle cases, which Celine has a range of candle cases. They make them in metal, they make them in leather, but my favorite is their Triumph Canvas candle cases, which is basically a beautiful little outer shell that the Celine candles perfectly fit into, which I think the Triumph Canvas is actually the least expensive one. That is $435, and then the leather and metal versions are going to be slightly more expensive, but the Triumph one is actually my favorite. And while we are on the topic of the Triumph print, I would also suggest looking into the little cosmetic pouches that Celine offers in their Triumph print, which they do in 3 different sizes, in a small, medium, and a large, and they range between $395 and $590, which I think make the most incredible gifts. So if you don't mind spending a little bit more money, I think these cosmetic pouches are some of the best luxury pieces money can buy, because people can only use them as a makeup case or as a cosmetic case, but people can also use these for traveling. They can use them on a regular basis to organize their bags. I always have a cosmetic pouch, not from Celine, mine is from Hermes, that I use to organize my bags, and I carry around with things that I always want to have on me. So even if I go from one bag to another, I know that all my essentials are in one place. So I have things like band-aids, mints, hand sanitizers, lip balms, things like that in there that I never want to be without, and it makes my life not only a lot easier but also a lot more organized depending on which size you go for. People can also use them to organize their suitcases or as the perfect travel accessory. So these are genuinely some of the most useful pieces to have in your collection, and if you know someone who loves Celine, this I know is something that they would really enjoy. And then if you're really trying to go all out, you can also get them the vanity case, which is just absolutely stunning. I think it is $950, something along those lines, which I think is a lot more reasonable than, let's say, the Louis Vuitton Nice would be, or even what is another vanity case that people love? I feel like the Goyard one is quite popular, which I mean is in the thousands, not in the hundreds. So to be really honest, the Celine one might be the most reasonably priced vanity case out there, and I think it actually could be a lot more expensive than it is. As I mentioned, most luxury brands will have a range of candles out at this point, but most of them I don't really enjoy. Now this upcoming range of candles I remember smelling, but I cannot remember anything about them. I mean, I know I didn't hate them because if I had, I would remember that, and I know I didn't love them either because then again, that's something that I would remember, but I genuinely cannot remember anything about them other than the fact that I did smell them at one point, which is the Cartier candles that start at $200, but I did want to include them here in case you have someone in your life who loves Cartier and you want to treat them to a red box. This was the least expensive piece that I found that I thought was also worth it, because they do also offer notebooks similar to Dior, but I think they are just around $300, which I think is just way too much money to spend. So while there are less expensive pieces than what I'll share with you next, I really didn't feel that they were worth your time or your money. So if your budget allows, I would recommend looking into their baby mug, which they have the cutest little mug inspired by the brand's mascot, the panther. So if you have someone in your life who has always wanted to have a panther piece from Cartier in their collection, or maybe someone who already has and you're looking to just enhance their love for the Cartier Panther range, I love this ceramic mug, which is actually from their Panther baby line. So the mug is decorated with these spots, which are of course inspired by a panther's spots. The handle is inspired by the tail, and the panther itself actually sits on the lid, which I love mugs that come with matching lids, and this, I have to say, is probably the most beautiful mug I have ever seen, which I mean is also reflected in the price. This is $445, but if you have a Cartier lover in your life, this is genuinely just beautiful and also kind of cute. So this was something that I had to mention. Last but not least, let's talk about Hermes. Now obviously I have a library of hundreds of videos on what to and what not to buy at Hermes, but I did want to share with you a couple of gift ideas under $100. So one thing that I love gifting people is the Avalon baby washcloth, which I think make the most beautiful gifts, especially if you have someone in your life who has recently moved. I think they make an amazing housewarming gift, but I don't think there's a single person out there who wouldn't enjoy having an Avalon little hand towel in their bathrooms. I have them in my bathrooms and I always love gifting these to people. They come in two different colors, in baby blue and in baby pink. I personally don't discriminate. I'll buy whichever color they have in stock, and then they obviously do these in several different sizes, but if we're trying to stay under $100, I would stick with the washcloth because I also think that makes the best gift. I mean, you don't want to give someone a bath towel. I feel like that would make a weird gift, but if you get someone a hand towel, it's something that they can not only enjoy themselves, but they can also share it with guests. And if you're trying to make a little set out of it, you can also buy a nice hand soap. Hermes does have some hand soaps. I would not recommend their liquid soaps because I think they're some of the most overpriced and most underwhelming soaps out there. I have owned every single scent in the range. I do not like the packaging and I do not like the scents, especially for $73. Some of my favorite liquid soaps are by Aesop and Diptyque, but if we are trying to stick with Hermes, you can definitely try some of their bar soaps, which they have bar soaps inspired by most of their best-selling fragrances. So for example, they have a bar soap inspired by the Twilly scent, which is $29. And if you don't mind spending a little bit more money on hand soap, they also offer a gift set of 3 soaps you can choose from different scents and different graphics. And Hermes will put 3 of them in a gift box for you, which I think that set starts at around $90. It depends on which scents you choose, which of course you can gift as is. Or what I would recommend that you do is that if you buy that set of 3, you split it up and you can buy several different washcloths and give a little soap with each one of them. And if you're looking to perhaps buy something instead of a soap, Hermes also offers hand creams, which start at $72. Again, it all depends on which size you go for. They come in 2 different sizes, but I think gifting someone a washcloth and a soap and maybe a hand cream, or just a washcloth with a hand cream, would be an incredibly thoughtful gift. I know from personal experience that it is some of my friends' most favorite gift that they have ever received from me, because these are the kind of things that they'll use on a regular basis. They can also share with their guests, but it's not necessarily something that they would want to spend their own money on. So I think these make an incredibly thoughtful and also functional gift that people are going to use. I mean, we all wash our hands hopefully multiple times a day, and anytime they dry their hands with a beautiful Hermes towel, they'll not only think of Hermes and the luxurious experience, but also of you and your friendship. Speaking of getting clean, if you have a dog lover in your life, don't forget that Hermes also has a dog range, which is definitely up there in price, but they have a few different things under and around $100. So they do have a dog shampoo, which is $85, and then they also have the matching conditioner, which again is $85. But this, I think, would make an incredible set if you're looking to treat not only them but also their fur babies, or perhaps you're looking to treat your own fur baby, in which case you can definitely give these a try. The shampoo is fine. I'm not a particularly big fan of this, and especially considering that I have quite a large baby, so I need to use a lot of this to be able to wash him. But the conditioner I really like, and I also prefer the scent. I mean, I think in theory they should have the same scent, but the conditioner smells a lot better than the shampoo does. So if you're looking to treat your own fur baby, or if you have someone who really likes their dog, this could be a really thoughtful gift. And then they also have a new chew toy, which is inspired by their horse bite, which if you know someone with a smaller dog or a dog who's not a really aggressive chewer, they do have that new chew toy, which is $180, and it definitely makes the most adorable little gift. Moving up in budget slightly, you guys know that I love my Hermes mugs. The only reason I don't have one in front of me right now is because I'm not allowed to drink tea, which has been hard. I've not been able to drink tea in a couple of weeks because I'm bleaching my teeth, and while I'm doing that, I cannot have anything that could potentially discover my teeth, and I am addicted to tea. I mean, if you know me, you know that I drink 5 to 6 cups of tea a day, so it has been hard, and that's why I don't have an Hermes mug with me. Otherwise, I am never without them, when I'm at home at least, because I love my Hermes mugs, and that's why I can tell you that they make an incredible gift. I think if I could only choose one, I would probably go for the Sot, which is Hermes's newest collection, the mugs in that range, which they offer with 3 different prints. They have a print with a horse head, they have a print featuring a helmet, and also one with a blanket. And it's not just any old blanket, but it is the brand's iconic Rockobar blanket, which was originally designed for horses, because this entire collection was inspired by show jumping. So I know from personal experience that these mugs are some of the best, most useful pieces money can buy from Hermes. I use them every day, all day, usually, and I would be incredibly grateful if I was gifted one of these mugs. So they make an amazing gift at just over $200, and I love the new Sot collection. I think it is the perfect way to infuse a pop of color and a little bit of Hermes into your life. And then if you're looking for something just a little bit larger and more show-stopping, the Tarte plates also make an incredible gift, which, as the name suggests, obviously you can use to display a tart or a cake, but they also make for the most beautiful little trays. So if you're trying to gift someone a piece of home decor that they can not only use in their kitchen, but they can also put it on display on a shelf or use it as a functional tray on their coffee table. Their tart plates are an amazing gift, which is offered, by the way, in most of Hermes' collections. I do love the design in the Sut collection, but personally I have the one from their iconic Mosaic collection. And then last but not least, I did also want to mention the Tarmac passport holder here, which starts at $245, I think it is. That's the price for it in Epsom, but it is slightly more expensive in goatskin. But I think in goatskin it would be like $290. So we are staying under $300, which I never really understood the hype of the Tarmac passport holder. I always thought that it was way too simple for, you know, carrying your passport. I always wanted an actual cover that I could slide my passport into. But the more I travel, the more I realize that the Tarmac just makes your life so much easier, because anytime you actually have to use your passport, when you go through immigration or customs, they ask you to take your passport out of its case anyway. So it just makes the overall experience a lot more seamless. So if you have a true Hermes fan in your life that you're looking to treat, I know that the Tarmac passport holder is something that they would really appreciate, especially considering that they offer these in the most beautiful range of different colors. Let's be honest, at the end of the day, it's not about the packaging or the price tag. It's all about giving from the heart. But if you are choosing to buy physical gifts this year, I hope I was able to give you some inspiration. And if you're not and you still chose to tune in, I really appreciate you being here and watching. I feel like gifting an experience, a handwritten note, or even something that you make yourself at home can be just as valuable, if not even more so, than a luxury gift, as long as it's something thoughtful and it comes from the heart. But thank you so much for being here and watching. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on some of these gift ideas and what you are choosing to do this year. I cannot wait to hear from you. And while you're down there, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I appreciate you being here and watching, and I'll see you back here with a new video really soon.